Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Today is Wednesday, August the 19th, 2020. So how are you on today? Last night we had night number 2 of the Democratic National Convention, and it was a little different. It was a little different last night, but it was still power-packed, and it was amazing. So good morning to everyone who is coming in. I'm sure like many of you, I'm exhausted. When you're watching this throughout the day, listening to the recaps, doing your research, I'm exhausted. Good morning, Kim Carter. And seeing Kim pop in is interesting, going through my news feed and so many people making comments such as, I fell asleep. I just couldn't hang in there, whether that was roll call or wherever that may be. So it can be exhausting. This is what I thought about this morning, actually, when I was thinking about the night 2 of the Democratic National Convention. You ever go to a church revival? And at that church revival, night 1, it's like up here, and it is power-packed, and it is equipping, and it is motivational, and you're just praising God, and you're worshiping, and you're all in. Well, that was Monday night of the DNC convention. Good morning, Pastor Williams. Good morning, Patricia. That was Monday night, and this is how I'm looking at it, my analogy. Last night was like night 2 of revival. And because you are so still drunk, if you will, over Monday night, over the first night of revival, the second night, you're there, you have expectancy, but yet you're like, okay, I'm not up here, but don't miss this, y'all. Last night was so deep. And it's not that it lacked motivation. It's not that it took away anything from night 1. It was that it was so deep with information to where it was no longer about you getting pumped. It was about you seeing community. And that's how, and if you ask me, that was brilliant what they did. Monday night, heavy hitter, they ended with former First Lady Michelle Obama. Last night, it was, okay, now that you've gotten your excitement, we're going to give you some details. So they came out with this amazing keynote. They started off with clips, even had Barbara Jordan in the initial clips. But then it was like, they call it a different kind of convention. And I say it was a different kind of keynote as well. And these were, I believe it was 17 different people all across the United States who ran for office and won. Now get this, those were the individual people that no one thought they could win. But they ran for office and they won. They wrapped that keynote from several reps, state senators, commissioners, and mayors. Yeah, Kim. Yep. Leadership. It was all about leadership. And they combined it into a personal story of Joe Biden. And they used what I call my hashtags. That is why we ran. That was one of their messages. Their other message was, we won. And I'm going to just quote what they said, so just go with me. The other message was, this is a big effing deal. And they said it, and y'all know where that came from. That came from when at that point, Vice President Joe Biden was whispering into the ear of former then President Barack Obama over the health care. So they picked that up. And then Stacey Abrams wrapped that up in the opening keynote. And she kept saying, our choice is clear. And then she went on to say, a steady, experienced public servant. And I'm going to give y'all that text vote information if you don't have it. And you can use either text vote or text join to 30330. So if you know you want to get involved in some kind of way with the Democratic ticket, all you have to do is text vote or text join to 30330. And she went on to talk about protecting our right to vote. So last night was a different kind of beat, but it was very clear. It was very clear. They talked about that we are building this country. We are community, collectively. We the people. And then we got Tracee Ellis Ross who came out. And I just want to go over just a little bit of this. And I'm going to pull out some other highlights. She talked all about leadership. She said we have to be steady, inclusive leadership, dignity and respect, respond to the needs. And then she gave this quote about herself. She was saying, as a black female leadership has been utilized without being acknowledged or valued. Now, as an African-American female myself, that hit me and it made me pause. That's what I mean. Monday night was like, again, I'm using the analogy of church revival. Monday night was rah, rah, yes, Lord, get me out of this slump. Get me out of being where I've been. I've been down and out. I've been lonely. I'm just looking for a word to pick me up. That happened on Monday night, even in the DNC convention. Last night was just as powerful, but it was a different kind of powerful. It was that powerful that says, okay, I need you to be still and I need you to digest the words that are being spoken so that collectively we can make a difference. Basically, it was saying you matter. You matter as a building block to this country. You matter. Now, what are you going to do? And that's my putting on there. Hi, Michelle. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So that's what she said. I want to read her quote again. Tracee Ellis Ross quote again. Black female leadership has been utilized without being acknowledged or valued. That stops today. That stops today. And then she wants to say good trouble, necessary trouble. She says time for us to call things out, forward-thinking, honest leaders. Then her last quote was, true leaders make sure policy is formed by all of us. That's what's happening. Hey, Deborah. So last night, they're still on racial justice, but they tied in listening to people and then acting with empathy. The other thing they did, and hopefully you caught this, even if they had a pre-recorded message, they changed that last night, Monday night sometime, because they all started playing off of Michelle Obama's words. Notice what happened there. There was a shift. And they started playing off of her words because her words were powerful the night before. So you had former acting U.S. Attorney General Sally Yates, who was talking about restore America. It is time for us to restore America. She talked about the current occupant. He's been trying to weaponize our Justice Department, sabotage our Postal Service, constant attack, one purpose, that he only has one purpose, and that is to remove any check of his abuse of power. I thought that was powerful, y'all. Again, Monday night was rah-rah. Last night was, now, what you gonna do? Take it in. Understand what's really going on. It was deep, y'all. It was deep last night. And so she brought that out. As a former acting U.S. Attorney General, she brought that out about law and order and what was really going on even behind the scenes. Again, leadership was throughout. Then we had Senator Chuck Schumer. You can always count on Senator Chuck Schumer. He said he's even hidden in the bunker. And then he goes on to say, and I'm using his name because it's a quote. He said, Trump has quit on you. Wow. Wow, y'all. This was beautiful as well. Again, if you just listened last night, it was powerful. Former President Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind, they gave a beautiful audio. And they were really touching on healthcare, being a caregiver, looking out for your neighbor. It made me, and yeah, Beverly, I saw your wording on here. It made me pause to say, okay, who do I need to check on? You know, are my sister friends okay? Are my biological sisters and brother, are they okay? How's my parents? Because I still have 2 living parents, age 85. Then I'm thinking, okay, what about my neighbors? Okay, have I checked on people on my street, regardless of what sign is in their yard? Have I checked on them? Have I checked on people that I've been in a relationship with? Have I checked on people as I'm walking around the neighborhood? How are you doing? Y'all, this was last night. It's like, it's a check-in time. And that is what I think democracy and community and building of a country looks like. And the Democratic National Convention set that up last night beautifully. How are you doing? Like take off not the mask that we wear to protect us from coronavirus, but take off that body mask, that facial mask, that fake smile, that fake grin, that everything's okay. No, really, let's pull that down and ask the question, how are you really doing today? That's what they did last night. And I love, y'all know former President Jimmy Carter, he's 95 years old and still teaching Sunday school. And then we have former President Bill Clinton. He was just talking about really that we should be a command center and not a, he was talking about the Situation Room should be a command center, but instead it's now a storm center. And then he goes, you decide. He said, and I love this, y'all. He said, you decide. Do you want to renew his contract or hire somebody else? That was classic. That was classic, y'all. It was like really deep thinking last night. It was really deep thinking. They really painted a picture of what's really going on. They used an amazing illustration of painting this picture of what is happening. And it really does make you pause and say, do I want that? What do I want? And hear me. I said it yesterday, so I won't necessarily repeat it. But we're not going to agree on everything. We're not. But you have to take a pause and say, but what do I need in this season? What do I want? Who's checking on me? Here's a question for all of you. There was this photo op about three Saturdays ago, I believe. And it was said that he was signing executive orders. It came out they were memorandums. Have you gotten your check yet? I'm just asking a question. Did you get that? Are your benefits okay? Have you started getting anything? Have you noticed, and that's what I like to do, and that's why God has called me to this in this season, is that news cycles will change. That's why this is called News in Motion. And this was named by Dr. Kim Carter, News in Motion. And news is always moving, but you cannot make it move so much that you forget what's happening. And that's what this administration has decided to do. And they know they're going to forget this, so let's just keep moving. So we even go back to the USPS, the United States Postal Service, for a moment. Okay, so you came out and said you're going to suspend what you're doing until after the election because people are having questions. Okay, so are you going to bring those blue boxes back, those ones you took? Are you going to bring back the sorting machines, the one you took? See, but how we do, okay, yay, he's going to suspend it. It's too late for that. And so we should not stop demanding action because you now made an announcement. No, you've been exposed, but how much work did you already do to cause suppression because you've already removed those things? Y'all, that's what last night did. It made me think. It made me pause. It made me want to ask all of you and encourage you to start asking questions. This is question time. This is question time. Then we had roll call, and it was beautiful. They can, listen, I'm all in with live stream from this day forward on everything. I can go to concert live stream. I told you that yesterday. I can do everything live stream. It was beautiful how that happened. And even in some of the mistakes, and you saw them, Delaware wasn't supposed to come on until the end. And I know you think it's A, B, C, D, but because he's from Delaware, that's the end. There were some other mistakes. Even when it all began, there was not a true explanation of what was happening. And I did it too. Like, did he just endorse Bernie Sanders for president? You had to understand there should have been a lead in line to that. And because I get a lot of press releases and media releases, everyone was having that conversation like he has to go back and repeat that. And they just breezed over it, but they came back to it last night when they were doing their commentary. But that's what happened there. So if all of you were like me, were like, what? What's happening? That's what was happening. So that the roll call was beautiful. The total delegates needed were 2,374, and Joe Biden received 3,558 delegates. And you know, I don't know. I'm an Ohioan, y'all know that. So it just did something when the two guys came out with Ohio during the roll call, and one said OH. Go ahead, y'all can type it in there. IO. You can never ever fail to get that OHIO in anything of substance. You're going to get OHIO. You're going to get it. Y'all know it's cool. Y'all know it's cool. Yep, y'all know it's cool. So, and then Tom Perez, who is the Democratic chair, he said, you two are a part of the American story. So that's what was happening last night. I see the IOs coming in there. That's right, y'all. That's what was happening. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I just want to talk about her just for a second. Many of y'all know with Ready Publication, she was on our cover. We did a cover story for her. I believe that was in 2018. I think it was 2018. And she's a firecracker, and she's starting a new game, and she's doing things her way. And I paused even yesterday when she went after John Kasich, and I'm thinking, we can't be going after anybody when they're bringing people over. We can't. His message wasn't for the Democratic Party. His message was for the Republicans, just like all the other longtime Republicans. So instead of shoot them down, we got to know when to exercise wisdom and just pause and don't get in an argument. Well, even last night, she was supposed to have a line that mentioned Joe Biden. She did not. She did not. So that creates division and controversy. And hear me, you can either like her or love her, but we got to be mindful. And it's not about succumbing or submitting in that regard. It's about, okay, let's use wisdom. What's best in this season? Let's use wisdom for that. And then I cannot move forward without talking about the elevator operator, Jacqueline. Y'all, that's just powerful. The fact that she met him on an elevator and then she ended up nominating him from the elevator. That's just, they are thinking of everything. Again, last night was, you too. You're a part of this. We're thinking about you. Yeah, Jacqueline has his cell phone number, personal number. Really? Who does that? But that's who he is. He's an American person who cares about America. If y'all also notice, healthcare was big last night. Healthcare was a pillar of last night. And then how they try to take healthcare even in the pandemic. And then, of course, y'all, they had a moment where I just lost it. I was bawling. Like I think many people, when I was watching commentary last night on I was clicking the different news stations. I had my computer up, my laptop up, my iPad, my iPhone, looking at the news reels that were coming in. Come on, y'all. Addie Barkin, ALS. I know y'all cried. Tell the truth, y'all cried. Y'all cried if y'all watched it. Y'all cried. He was denied claims. He felt that, and he said it was dehumanizing, and I believe it. And then he said everyone should get health care that they need. Y'all, do y'all know this man was protesting while in a wheelchair and was handcuffed? But he did not quit. And what I want to say to all of us today, it doesn't matter what your situation is. Any of our lives can change in a twinkling of an eye. We can go to sleep one way, wake up another way. Don't quit. Don't stop your fight. Don't stop arguing. Don't allow the naysayers to prevent you from doing what you have been called to do in this season. You may be saying, you know what, I can't really go out and protest because of the pandemic, but I'm going to write letters. Then you write letters, regardless of what anyone else has to say to you. You may be saying, you know what, I'm not good with writing letters, so I'm going to call my representative's office. Then you call and you leave a message. You may say, you know what, I'm not into telling people they need to register to vote, but I can at least share on my Facebook or my social media platform the links, which is iwillvote.com, vote.gov, whenweallvote.org, rockthevote.org. You can even go to readypublication.com and hit the Ready to Vote campaign icon. Whatever your position is, you run your position. And regardless of what anyone else thinks of you, saying, well, you're not doing enough, or I need you to do more. No, I'm doing what I can do based upon my capacity to deliver. Yeah, y'all, even today is different. I just want to share this information because yesterday was deep, y'all. Again, Monday, church revival. Monday was rah, rah, I need help, Lord Jesus, pull me out of this. Tuesday, you go to the revival, you're like, whew, I'm a little tired. But it has you in a position of, now I want you to take notes and listen and learn. That's what was happening. Then John Kerry came out saying that he won't defend our country. He only cares about defending himself. Then we had Colin Powell. Who would have thought? We had Colin Powell. He said, I support Joe Biden for president of the United States. He will stand up to our adversaries. He will restore Americans' leadership in the world. What a difference it will make to have a president who will unite us. That was all a quote from former Secretary of State Colin Powell. And then we had the audio voice of Cindy McCain. Yeah, y'all. GOP's coming out. They're crossing over. They're saying, mm-mm. And here's the thing, y'all. Let's keep the eye on the prize. And let's say, okay, we have one focus. We need to unseat the clown head in office. We got to unseat that person. Because as Michelle Obama said on Monday night, this is a little concerning. No, it's a lot concerning. It's a lot concerning. And we need to pay attention. But here we have to be held responsible and accountable that when the election is over, what are we going to do? We cannot fall back. We have to then get involved. We have to go to the town hall meetings. We have to have news that's going to bring you the truth. We're going to have to do different things. We're going to have to go put voter education back in the school systems. We're going to have to talk about it not just 3 or 4 months before an election, but we're going to have to make that a curriculum. We're going to have to put together a firm, y'all. We're going to have to put together something. We have to go back and see what worked back in the 50s and 60s and 70s and say, okay, how do I bring some of that forward into 2020, 2021, 2022, 2024? What are we going to do collectively? Everyone has been given their own measure of faith. That's right, Latrice, that's right. So with that, just so that you know, and then y'all, John Legend, always... Yeah, I had to go from MSNBC to CNN, and trust me, I tweeted MSNBC, don't you cut off John Legend. But John Legend was on several of the stations. But I want y'all to know this. The convention is just not at 9 o'clock at night Eastern time. The convention is taking place at 12 noon online. It is. You can go to, and somebody put this in if you don't mind, www.demconvention.com. That's demconvention.com. That's right, Pamela. We have to participate in our government. So if somebody can put that in there, www.demconvention.com. That stands for demconvention.com. Y'all, there are meetings that are taking place. Some of you have to have either a media pass or access, and I can get into some of them, not all of them. But you have, yesterday they covered the LGBTQ caucus meeting. There was the Muslim Delegates Assembly. There was a Small Business Council meeting, the Disability Council meeting. I did pop in the Small Business Council meeting and the LGBTQ caucus meeting. I also went into the Disability Council meeting. They also had the Jewish American Community meeting, the Youth Council meeting, the Native American Caucus meeting, the Veterans and Military Families Council meeting, and then they also had a Campaign Academy 2020 organizing. I popped in that one as well. And then they also had a rural caucus meeting. Beverly, change that. You got to add convention to the end of your M. So www.demconvention.com. But thank you for posting that. So y'all, there's other things that are happening throughout the day. You can go to that website that they're posting and check out what else is happening throughout the day. So there's more meetings behind the scenes. Normally we would see some of that, but being virtual, you have to go online to check those out. And you may not get access to all of them, but you can ask for permission to get in. All right, y'all, the coronavirus numbers in the U.S., there are 5,655,974 cases. Let me try that again. 5,655,974 cases. That's a lot. That's a long number, okay? Deaths, we are now at 175,074 deaths. Recovered, we are at 3 million recovered. So let's celebrate that. 11,098 recovered. But here's the good news. You're starting to see the map on the World Health Organization in the U.S. You're starting to see a slight decline. So let's praise God for the slight decline. It shows that it is now slowing in the U.S. I believe masks are making a difference. And talking about masks, I got this in the mail yesterday. My vote mask. Yes, I did. And this is the sponsor. The sponsor is Resistance by Design. So y'all, if you go to this company, Resistance by Design, and I'm trying to find their website. The website is resistancebydesign.com. So if somebody can put that in there, put the www.resistancebydesign.com. They sent this, so they sponsored today's segment. And every penny that you purchase for the mask to this cause goes to a greater cause. It does. So it's resistance by design. So yep, I'm gonna be sporting this. My vote.com, my vote mask. I'm gonna wear that proudly, and I thank them, Resistance by Design, for sending that to me, and let's help with their cause. All right, real quick, y'all, I'm signing off. This is too long, but hey, that's what a recap does. Also, in other news, GOP-led Senate panel details ties between 2016, and I got to give his name, Trump campaign in Russia. That's from the New York Times. You can Google that. There's nearly 1,000-page report. Now, this was a GOP-led, which means it's a Republican-led bipartisan committee. And they did find that there was some ties between them. Yes, that came out. You can check that out. I won't go over the whole thing. But the Senate Intel was the committee they released at the final bipartisan Russia report shows that the Trump administration obstructed Russia probe knowingly and knowingly helped. Yeah, that happened. And then we heard about the United States Postal Service. Y'all keep following that. I think we still need to organize to figure out how else we're going to do that. And then for the win, y'all, I gave y'all an inspirational message throughout, so I won't go back to that. But for the win, and the USA Today reported, and y'all know y'all gonna get sick of me talking about him for the win, but the NBA Lakers for the win, yep, led by LeBron James. And I want to read this. The Los Angeles Lakers star, LeBron James, often makes a statement with what he's wearing when he enters the arena. Before Tuesday's Game 1 against Portland in the first round of playoffs, James and his teammates made a social justice statement. They were wearing the mega red hat theme, but their red hat said, "Make America Great Again. Arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor." Boom. And then they had LeBron James wore a t-shirt that read, "By any means." So he gets the win again. The NBA Lakers get the win. Thank y'all. I know it's been long this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all, everybody take a nap around 2-3 hours before 9 o'clock. Y'all know tonight we're going to get the former president, the 44th president of the United States of America, Barack Obama. And we're also going to hear our next vice president of the United States, Senator Kamala Harris. That's happening tonight. So y'all want to be rested up for that, because I know it's going to be on. So again, that church thing, Monday night, first night of revival, we're all in. Tuesday night, we're a little exhausted, but it's deep. Wednesday night, because they got to pump us back up, we're going to get pumped up. Thursday night is going to be, all right, y'all, let's get ready to work. So it's going to bring us down just a little bit. So it's a high, low, just like life. So I guess that is still an inspirational message. All right, y'all, until tomorrow, I got to go over to IG. They're going to get tired of me coming over there late. But until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. Please do me a favor, share the video if it helped you anyway. If you think anybody needs this information, please share the video. And if you want to sow, invest in this work. This is a ministry for me. You can cash at me at the $ M as in Mary, I M as in Mary, today, TODAY. $ MIM today. Thank you, Kim Hill. Thank you, Michelle. Y'all have a great day. Peace out.